And okay, perfect. Good morning. Good morning for those of you that are on the call or those of you that are on the Facebook live as well. I hope you guys are having an absolutely phenomenal Tuesday. A couple updates because I know we have the new calendar this week, and we'll go into some weekly market updates as well this morning. And then there's going to be a new resource that I show you. But we are going to be starting a new book club, right? A new book club. And you guys, it is your last chance to vote. So if you haven't voted already in the Facebook group, then don't forget, we're right now voting between the Millionaire Real Estate Agent and the Millionaire Real Estate Investor, right? I have two books right now, and depending, we went ahead and ordered a few of each, and that way, if you guys want to grab a copy of either, we do have them available in the office. And yet, right now, it's, hey, what do we want to, it's going to be dependent on whatever is going to come in the lead on what book we're going to be covering. Now, I'll be honest, guys, I thought Millionaire Real Estate Investor was going to come in the lead, and so far, what I've seen, it actually looks like we're leaning towards MREA. So keep an eye. If you haven't voted yet, you haven't had your vote counted, go into the group and do that. A couple updates. So if you didn't catch the Today's Matters emails, the Downey Association of Realtors is doing a phase 1 reopen. So they kind of sent that out. They're going to be doing a curbside assistance for agents and things like that. Other than that, everything can still be sent via email. Right. And then there's also, they sent out a survey for the election, right, for the 2021 leaders. So don't forget to participate in that piece as well. Now, the last thing that they did is more so for new licensees and the continuing education requirements. If your license is in the expiration time frame, if you need to get a renewal on your license, make sure that you're looking at that, right? Make sure you're looking at that. There was an extension of dates that they originally did during the stay-at-home order, right, where they gave you an automatic 3-month extension on renewing your license. Now they're noted that they're going to be extending some of those deadlines as well, right? They're going to be extending some of those deadlines. So if you're in that expiration time, you've been given a little bit of extra time. And then last but not least on those updates, FHFA extended the foreclosure and eviction moratorium. So for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, they extended their eviction and foreclosure moratorium. Right now, that is at least until August 31st, right? That's at least through August 31st. So a lot of quick updates this morning that I just wanted to make sure that you guys had. A couple other things. So we're going to have some really interesting Zoom calls that we have scheduled out for July, right? We're going to keep doing our weekly market update, right? We're going to be adding in our Millionaire Book Club, and we'll let you know which one we're going to be focused on. But there are a couple classes that I wanted to keep you guys aware of that are going to be really special classes that we're bringing out for you. The first one on July 8th. On July 8th from 8:30, I believe it goes until 3:30 or 2:30 or 3:30 p.m. We're going to have Gene Rivers doing a lead generation plus class, right? Multi-million-dollar producer, an OP now, a phenomenal trainer, right? That class is actually $50 per ticket. If you make the commitment to attending, we will cover the ticket for you. Right, we're going to cover the ticket for you. I spoke with Rich about that, and he's going to be covering the cost of tickets. And so connect with us. We're going to be sending that out via email. It is a long class. It's going to start at 8:30 a.m., right? So putting it on your schedule, but that is going to be an absolutely phenomenal class. Gene Rivers is a great instructor. And that includes any of the guests on the line that are interested in attending, reach out to us. The other thing that we're going to be doing is on Friday, July 10th, in lieu of our regular 9 a.m. call, we're going to have NAR Chief Economist, Dr. Lawrence Yun, on a regional call for you. That call is going to be an hour on July 10th, right? That call is going to be an hour, but we wanted to have something that was a little bit broader. So that'll be with NAR Chief Economist. And on Tuesday, July 14th, in lieu of our regular 9 a.m. call, we'll do the weekly market update that week on Wednesday, but we're going to have a call with Mo Anderson, right? So for those of you guys that know Mo Anderson, that's definitely going to be a really big treat. So we're super excited to have that. We have some other stuff in the works for July right now as well. We have a couple guest speakers that we're going to be having on some of the calls. So we will keep you posted on those. But these are the ones that I just wanted to make sure that you guys are aware of right away. So lots of announcements today. Let's go ahead and jump into our weekly market update. Let me share my screen 1 second. Okay, perfect. Everybody's seeing my my screen? Thumbs up? Yes. Okay, awesome. I see the thumbs up right there. Perfect. Uh-oh. I'm not in presenter mode, am I? No, I'm not. Okay, perfect. Here we go. Okay, great. So a couple things that I'm going to be sharing today. So we're going to go over this market update, and then I'm actually going to show you guys a Oh, it stopped sharing. There we go. Okay, everybody good? Thumbs up one more time. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to go through our regular weekly market update, and then there's another piece that I'm going to be showing you as well, because I want to share with you guys where you can pull up some of your own stats completely free that you can put into your listing presentations. So this is a really broad look where we look at LA County, and we're going to be looking at the pre-COVID versus post-COVID indicators. And then we're going to look at a secondary piece where we'll be viewing, some of just the market stats for particular neighborhoods that you can utilize in some of your presentations. So looking at the showings, we've continued to see that increase in showings that we were expecting. If we remember last week when we were looking at this, we said, hey, there was a little bit of dip on that Sunday. What was that dip accounted for? Well, we figured it had to do with Father's Day, right? But we're also seeing this continue to go up. So we had the dip from pre-COVID. With everything going on right now, this has continued to increase fairly dramatically, right? Fairly dramatically. A lot of this is the pent-up demand. So as I've been talking with a lot of you, you've been telling me that, hey, your clients are out there and what are they doing? They're looking at more properties because there's still a lot of competition on the inventory, right? There's still a lot of competition on the inventory, and there's a lot of buyers that are out there looking right now, right? There's a lot of buyers that are getting into the market right now because they're seeing, hey, I want to take advantage of the interest rates. Hey, now I'm feeling a little bit more stable. Hey, now I've been taken off of furlough and I'm back in my job and I want to move forward right now. So we're seeing a lot of that happen. And of course, it's gone up. We've actually surpassed 130% increase past the baseline, right? That's a pretty broad increase within this past week. In all honesty, I think we're going to see, and you'll know, we talked about this last week. There's going to be, we'll see what happens within this next week or so. Right now, there haven't been additional restrictions that have been added on us, right? And yet, I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing more restrictions coming down the pipeline, especially with some of the new orders that have been putting on. So we just kind of want to keep an eye on that. Definitely recommend making sure that when you're entering the properties, or if you have any listings that are on the market right now, remember that you are required to have the pictogram, right, that depicts, hey, sanitization, mask, all of those pieces on the property. Make sure you are getting that PEAD form, right? Make sure you are getting that PEAD as you're out there viewing for your clients. And don't forget, if you show your clients something on Saturday and then you show your clients something the next week, right, you need to have an updated PEAD form. So just recall that as you're going out and showing those properties. Looking at the pre-COVID window in terms of the data trends, we're going to be looking again at that 8-week window pre-COVID. Now we're in a 14-week window pre-COVID, right? When we looked at the for sale price two weeks ago, the week of the 21st, the average for sale price that we were seeing was $590. It brought up our 13-week average to $556 at $920. And we've been in the green for over a month now on the for sale prices. We are not seeing for sale prices go down, right? We're not seeing a big decrease here. We're actually seeing this stay pretty tight. Again, this is limited inventory. We're still very much in a seller's market, with the exception of for the buyers. One of the pieces that is great for them is the interest rates. There's also a tool that I'm going to be sharing with you guys, right? I spoke with a couple colleagues, including Sarah Surichat over at Woman Up. She's part of the CAR Association, and there's a great resource. I'm going to post it in the group and post it in the hub, where you can see if your clients qualify for any of the grant programs that are out there, right? It's basically going to be a consensus of all the programs that are out there and available for them. They can log on there, put in their information, and see if there's anything that they would potentially qualify for that might be able to help them out. So I'm gonna be sharing that in the group again with you guys. If you haven't used it before, it's going to be a really great tool to utilize, especially right now with your clients, right? And especially those clients where you're seeing, hey, they're an ideal candidate, they have a great credit score, they have a great job, and maybe because of everything that's going on, they have a little bit less savings, then that site might be a great resource for them, right? But we've been in the green for a while here. This past week, it went up slightly, $595. And so our per week average went up to $569 in the for sale element. When we start looking under contract, so if you remember last week, I said it was highly likely that within the next week or two, we were going to end up going into the green on the trend analysis on our per week average for under contract price point. The week of the 21st, the average price point that we saw that week on under contract properties was $638,000, right? $638,000. That brought us to a 602, almost 603, which was very similar to our pre-COVID average. That went up, right? The average price that we saw this past week for under contract properties, $640, right? $640. That brought our per week average up to $605. We are now in the green. So what does that mean? It means we've been pretty consistently higher, right? Prices have pretty consistently for the past month or so been higher to the point where we're surpassing those pre-COVID averages, right? We're surpassing those pre-COVID averages with our higher price point. If your clients, especially your sellers right now, are interested in selling, it's still a great time to sell for them to get top dollar, right? It's still a great time for them to sell to get top dollar. Does this mean they can overprice their properties? No, right? Because they're still going to be competing against other properties, and not everything that's hitting the market is selling right now, right? And yet it's still a great time for them to potentially list their property so that they can take advantage of the price point as well as the buyer demand right now, right? The buyer demand right now. When we start looking at inventory sold, this is the total inventory sold dipped slightly on a week over week, right? It was last week, the week of the 21st, 788 homes sold in Los Angeles County, bringing our per week average to 563, right? This past week, 757 homes sold, right? Bringing our per week average to 577. This has stayed pretty similar. It's a little bit smaller, the 35%, but this has kind of been hovering in the mid 30s to the low 40s. So inventory sold is not necessarily increasing dramatically, which is part of the reason that when we're talking to our clientele, right, we want to let them know, hey, prices are staying pretty fair at a higher price point, and yet they can't overprice because the inventory sold is not necessarily going up. So we want to make sure they're part of those properties that sell. When we look at the number of homes, new inventory that hit the market, the week of the 21st, we had 1,123 homes hit the market in Los Angeles County. Our per week average has stayed in the thousands marks for the past month. And now when we go up this week, 1,141 homes hit the market in Los Angeles County within the past week. So inventory here, it's not raised dramatically. We're still a little bit lower than we were at the per week average pre-COVID, right? And so what do we know? We still need more inventory. The home prices are staying pretty stable. In fact, they're increasing, right, pretty consistently right now, but not so much so that we want to overprice properties, right? We're not anticipating that. We want to price with the market so that we can create that competitive advantage, create a lot of that traffic, get a lot of viewings into your listings, right? I don't see questions on this. I'm actually going to switch gears and I'm going to share a different tool with you guys. Give me 1 second. Okay, give me 1 second. So when we start looking at, let me share screen. Okay. So I want to bring up another tool that you guys have available to you that you can utilize. So all of you, well, those of you that are not the guests on the line, but those of you that are with us and with our office, you have access to this tool through Michael Lewis Marketing Suite. You should have your login. This is going to be a second account that you have that's available to you. You guys are familiar with a lot of the marketing material that's in here, from the flyers, the Spanish language tools, right? There's the social media suite. What we're going to be looking at today is actually the real-time data, right? The real-time data. So when you click into real-time data, it's going to open up a secondary page for you that looks like this. It's the real-time market numbers, right? And one of the things that you can go ahead and put in here is you're going to search here by houses, or you can search by condos. You can search any city or zip code, right? Any city or zip code. So depending on what you're looking for, right, you're going to find the weekly numbers. So if we were searching this today, let's go ahead and search in for Los Angeles. We're going to update that. So we have each zip code that is available, or you have the full city. We're going to go with full city here at the top, right? And it's going to quickly just update this for us. And right over here, we've got this week, the median list price, 1 million. This one's at 1.3 million, right? For all of Los Angeles, right? But we've also got the market action index that is going to happen on a specific to the Los Angeles market, right? So this is for Los Angeles as a city. You have real-time market data that's happening right up here, your median list price, price per square foot, the days on market, price decreases, price increase, how many properties have been relisted, right? How many properties have been relisted? What is the amount of inventory that's currently available? We've also got the median rents, right? The median rents for property, the most expensive listing on the market. And then this one here, this is going to be a rental for sure, but your least expensive. And then we've got this market action index, right? Market action index, which is basically giving you a how's the market, and it's giving you a little bit of an update. So if we're ever looking at what is the language we can use, right, when we're talking to a clientele, letting them know the market's been cooling over time, prices have plateaued for a while. Despite the consistent decrease, we're still in the seller zone, right? We're still in a seller's market. Now there's data to show them. Now this is looking at Los Angeles in particular. Let's go ahead and switch to Downey really quickly. And let's go ahead and look at, we're going to look at a zip code here. So 90241, right? We're going to see this adjustment here as well on where we're at, right? So again, you can see the price point, everything's changed over here. Now, a couple other pieces that are going to be available here. Right here in this drop-down menu, you have charts for median list price, which is what we're on now. You can see your chart for average days on market, price per square foot, properties with price decrease, price increase, right? Relisted. All of this information is going to be available for you. Here's the other piece that I want you to take a look at, market segments. So what do we know to be true when we start looking at market segments? Is we know that there's going to be differences that occur dependent on certain price points, right? There's going to be differences as we start looking at certain price points. When we get into the million marker and we get into that higher median price point, what do we tend to see? We tend to see increased days on market, right? We tend to see increased days on market. And so we just want to take a look at that. Is you can run these reports and look at it this way. where you're actually breaking it down by market segment, right? So that you can see this information. Here's what is really nice about this information. Let's say that I have a listing presentation. I'm going to be meeting with a client for a property in this area, and I want to get particular information that I can show them because their price falls in, you know, X price point, and all of a sudden this person wants to list their home at 2 million when the median price point in their market segment is 1.6. Well, I can share these, right? So you have full report PDFs. You've got single page. Let me break that down for you. Okay, so this is a single page breakdown right here. But let's look at this in terms of a full report, right? This is going to be your full report breakdown, which is going to include all of the information here: price per square foot, your inventory, market action index, right? Depending on the segment. You've got that full report that's available. I see in the chat, yes. So I just want to share this with you, right? Because there's going to be a lot of information that you can utilize in here for your presentations, right? For your presentations, that's going to be available to you for free, right? So make sure that you guys are taking a look at this, because when we start looking at really understanding the market, right? When we start looking at understanding the market, we want to use data, right? We want to be able to use data, and we want to be looking at these reports. If you have a farm, right? If you have a particular farm area that you're cultivating, then I would be looking at these reports for your farm areas on a weekly basis, right? I want to look at these every single week. So the same way that we look at pre-COVID, post-COVID numbers for specifically for Los Angeles County, I also want to make sure that I understand my weekly market, right? What is happening every single week, right? Within the market that I choose to work. If I have a listing presentation, I want to take a look at this. If I'm showing a buyer in a particular area and I know, why not pull some of this information out so that I can utilize it for my clients, right? So that I can use it for my clients. So there's a lot of really valuable information, a lot of really valuable tools in there. The nice thing is it includes synopsises, so it's giving you language to share with your clients, right? It's already giving you some of the language to share your clients. And I want to thank Esther, who I think is on the calls, because she actually had requested some information like this. And so I wanted to make sure that I brought it to you guys this week. So thank you for bringing that up. Again, we always want to take whatever feedback you're giving us and bring those tools to the forefront for you guys. So that's just a tool that I really wanted to review this week. I will make sure the weekly market updates and the numbers are going to be posted, right? I want to make sure that those things are posted for you guys. Diana mentioned you can also use InfoSparks, right? On CRMLS, there is some tools that are available there as well, right? So a couple different data sources that you can utilize, but I want to make sure that you guys have this tool. And then don't forget about the marketing that's available in there, right? There's going to be updates that you can send out directly to your clients through those reports. You can email those reports out to your clients if you should choose to. So just make sure that you're utilizing the tools that you have at your discretion, right? That you're utilizing tools you have at your discretion. So a lot of info that we covered this morning, right? A lot of info that we covered this morning. There was a lot to get through, but I wanted to make sure that you guys have that information. A couple things to remember for classes today. We do have contracts class that's going to be starting at 10 a.m. And then at 1 p.m., there's a guest speaker that's going to be going over really utilizing at a very high level, right? They're going to be going over really utilizing command at a very high level with customized contacts. That's going to be a great live training that's going on. And then I know at 6 p.m., we've also got a great class on marketing with seminars, right? With workshops with Miss Diana Carvajal. So we're really exciting. on putting on some winning workshops. We've been talking about that a lot, right? If you're doing information on forbearances, if you're doing buyer workshops, if you're doing seller workshops, whatever that might be, right? We want to make sure that you're utilizing the tools that you have at your discretion to be able to have some absolutely phenomenal workshops available to you. So that's going to wrap up our day today. To kind of end that note on a couple powerful quotes for this morning on making the sale, right? On making the sale. As we're reaching out and we're talking with our clients and we're doing our contacts today, Jennifer Hughes says, if you don't ask, you don't give them the opportunity to say yes, right? If you don't ask, you don't give them the opportunity to say yes. Jeffrey Gittimer says, after you ask a closing question, shut up. The next person who speaks loses, right? So it's funny. I have in my office, I have a nice little wooden sign that says wait, W-A-I-T, wait. Somebody had let me know once that is basically, what is, I lose the word, but it's essentially, why am I talking? Wait, W-A-I-T, why am I talking? Too many times we talk ourselves out of the next step in the process, right? And so as you're talking with your clients, once you ask that closing question, give them that space, give them that opportunity, right? Barbara Corcoran says the biggest challenge in business is not the competition, it's what goes on in your head, right? The biggest challenge in business is not the competition, it's what goes on in your head. And the last one, face-to-face or voice-to-voice contact will give you the edge over your competitors every time. Right, so go out and make it an amazing Tuesday, and I will see you guys soon. Bye, everyone. And don't forget to vote, Millionaire Real Estate Agent or Millionaire Real Estate Investor. Last chance before we get started tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.